Cheers.
Only Taurus would start anything in their life, like a new something, if they're like setting out to do a new project with a cheers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, they would.
I feel like, you know, in film when they have those, like, you would know because you've been in TV shows and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The little thing that's like,
Yeah.
Take
the
slate. Okay.
To make that noise, yep.
It's like a reset. Taurus, their slate, their reset, bubbles.
Yes.
Rosé, champagne,
Gold.
shoes, jewelry,
A nice pillow.
chocolate,
Someone feeding them grapes.
decadent,
Yeah.
some bubbles, everything, like physical bubbles.
We could get used to this.
That's what I'm saying. This is going to be a very like treat yourself season, and I'm so freaking
Into
pumped
it.
about it
So
because,
into
like, let's be honest, you and I don't want to like toot our own horns, but we
Toot
like
it, girl.
we work hard.
Yeah.
But Taurus work hard, play hard.
Yeah. I think that we can incorporate some of that into our personal lives, don't you?
I think we should. Yeah.
Let's make that our
We
goal for
deserve
Taurus
it.
season.
Yeah, it's Taurus season. Welcome to Astro Candy and
Hello.
welcome to our sign series.
Yes.
So we've been taking the signs season by season, which I guess it's only been 2 so far. We
This
did
is our
Aries.
second installment.
Second installment
It's
of 12.
exciting.
It's going to be quite the year. So if you haven't heard Aries, go ahead and listen to that. Now we're in Taurus season. So this applies to anybody with a sun, moon, rising.
Yep.
Or honestly, if you have any Taurus placements,
If you're
could learn
alive
something.
and watching this, you're in
you're
Taurus
in the right
season.
place.
So,
Yeah, no kidding.
so you're going to want to at least understand the vibes. Even if you don't
vibes.
have it strong in your chart. You want to know the general energy.
Because you're going to come across a Taurus. If you're working, like if you're in the workplace, there's a Taurus in there somewhere.
There's a Taurus.
Probably have a Taurus friend.
Yep.
Family member.
Maybe a date.
Maybe a date.
Maybe a spouse, maybe a sibling. Who knows? But there are Taurus people in your life.
Yeah.
But also remember what we learned before, that like no matter what your placements are or the people around you, the season itself is
Yeah.
going to have like an impact on your life.
Exactly.
So if that stands true, then we can all get ready for like some luxury, some decadence, and some fun.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm
gonna
thinking,
be
right?
So luxurious. Like
I'm into it.
it's just straight chilling.
I was a Taurus in a past life, I think.
I think so. You really embrace it well, I will say.
Thank you so much, Raven. Thank you for noticing.
So let's do like a quick like a rundown of Taurus, the sign itself.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, well, really quick.
Yeah.
I feel like the world's worst like astrology podcast host, but I will
What?
say
The world's hold on, Raven. That was some strong words.
I know.
Those are strong words.
And it's not a reflection of you because we all know you're the astro expert here. I'm just kind of like
You're breaking my heart.
well, it's true. But here's the thing. I'm confused and maybe you can help me. So when I was looking up Taurus dates, I got April 20th to May 20th.
Okay.
But like the season of Taurus is different.
Interesting. Are you sure?
No.
No, they're the same.
It's the
They're
dates and the dates.
You know what? Sometimes, depending on the website that you go to, they may be different by a day or so.
That's what I was noticing.
Yeah.
I was confused. So some said the 19th, some said the 20th and the 21st.
If you're ever unsure, there are a couple of websites that are just like super reputable and like these people know what they're talking about. Like Susan Miller, she's like
Yeah.
a second
The
or third
the
generation.
pro.
Yeah, go to susanmiller.com and like that would be the one. But yeah, no, you're right. That's those are the dates for Taurus people and for the season.
Okay,
So,
great.
yeah.
Thanks for checking me on
Yeah,
that,
girl.
Britt. See,
I've
I'm
got
learning
you.
too. You're learning. We're
We're
all
all learning together. As we learn,
So
we share.
exactly. So this is an earth sign. These are your most grounded people. Any earth sign that's Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Reliable, grounded, hardworking people. So
You know where to find us.
yeah.
We'll be here all day.
Virgo right here.
That's right, baby.
The quality is fixed. And
They're more stubborn than other
the
earth
most
signs.
stubborn, I would say.
Taurus people are known for being
Very stubborn.
and like really just like set in their ways and committed. I feel like there are a couple ways you can look at it, right? Like
Yes.
one way would be that they're stubborn, but the other way would be like they're very committed. So like you can count on them till the end.
Exactly.
If they mean it, like you know what they're saying is true. They're
Right.
not going to just change on you.
Taurus are so contemplative, right? Like they really spend a lot of time making a decision.
Yes.
And once they do,
Interesting.
they are rooted, they are grounded, they're not going anywhere. This could be a decision about a job,
Yep.
a relationship, a friendship, whatever it is in their life, they're going to spend a long time contemplating. And sometimes that could seem like indifference. It could come across as indifference. It's like, well, you're not doing anything. Like, what are you, hello? Are you there? Are you being lazy? Like, what are you? No, they're just
Raven.
really contemplating. But once they decide, they are in it for the long haul, like you said, and that comes across as stubbornness.
That's so interesting.
It's like they've spent so long weighing those pros and cons. They truly know, like, no, this is the best option, and it's going to take a freight train to push me out of the way for me to see different.
It's like something worth waiting for. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, instead of getting annoyed, like if there's a Taurus in your life and you feel like they're not moving as quickly on something or you don't have an answer yet from them, I guess the best course of action would be like, let it play out and give them some space.
Give them space and time to contemplate.
Yeah, because whatever the answer is, you know that you can count on that. That is going to be their truth. They're not going to change it up on you. So I think there's a lot of goodness in that. I really enjoy people that you can count on. Who doesn't?
I know. We need those people.
That's
Hence
good.
why they're an earth
We
sign
love you,
too.
Taurus people.
Reliable. Ruling planet is Venus. And this is so interesting.
That's cute.
Because Venus is the planet of beauty and love and romance. So this can be like a very... It's not materialistic so much so as like they just love life and
love
like
to
the
be
luxuries
beautiful.
of life, like everything from gorgeous flowers to just like enjoying a bubble bath, the food. It's like these people, they're an earth sign, so they really just take in the vibes of actual living life on earth, and that's eating and it's drinking and it's and enjoying.
Yeah, like indulging in the five senses.
Yes.
It can teach you how to do that. Like a lot of other sign placements have trouble with that at times, like Virgos. We can get super into work mode, for example. And getting around a Taurus can help you to lighten up and remember to enjoy the luxuries of life. So they can really do that for anybody. So if you're ever getting bogged down, find your Taurus friend and go out to dinner.
Go out, keyword
change your
dinner.
vibe.
Or I know my Taurus friend Haley, who loves Astro Candy podcast and is most likely listening to this episode.
Yeah, she always like comments and likes.
Isn't she
Shout
the
out Haley,
sweetest?
we love you.
Haley's the best. She is Taurus, and
Cute.
what she'll do, and I fucking love this, she'll invite me over and cook me dinner.
Oh my God, that's so nice.
Isn't that so sweet? And like that's their way of loving on you.
Okay, that is such a Taurus thing because Caroline always brings me food.
Caroline,
our other Taurus friend, she brings me food.
It's
they show love through giving you pleasure.
The pleasure,
via five
yes.
senses.
It's almost like the five love languages by Gary Chapman.
Yeah.
Like if we broke it down in a sense that was like astrology and zodiac, like that would be Taurus's love language. They give to you in those like. Just think like foodie vibes.
Giving
like
of
they will
gifts
treat you
via food.
Like whatever that luxury is. And that's why, so I don't even know why we were saying that. But if they're a good friend to you, they're going to want you to lighten up, have a good time, and just like sort of indulge and take your mind off working.
Yes, I feel like that's how you would know that a Taurus person really wanted to be your friend or wanted to date you. Like just heads up, if they offer you food, that's how you know that you're in good with the Taurus.
Taurus are almost like romantic in friendship too. Does
They're
that make
very
sense?
loving and sweet. Yeah.
There's just they're just very like sweet, loving, friendly people, like here for you if you need me.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like, well, I guess it just depends on which way you're going, but you could take it the wrong way. Like you could be like, you could mistake it for interest.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
But no,
like,
they're
like
just
romantic
being,
interest.
that
That
but
must
they're
be
just
a Venus thing.
Exactly, but they're just being themselves and
Yeah.
they just want you to see the finer things in life like they do. Their tarot card is the Hierophant, which is interesting
I've always found that surprising. Raven, tell us about that because I've always wondered why that would be associated with Taurus. You'd think it'd be something romantic or
you would think
flowery or,
And I wonder like who determines that, but the Hierophant card is all about spirituality, conformity, and tradition, which makes sense because Taurus are so unmoving and they really like to hunker down in their safe place, in what feels calm and good and predictable, if that makes sense.
They also tend to be like that hearth and home energy, very familial, where like they usually are the hub of their friend group that will like invite everyone over to their house, cook a big
Their house
meal.
though has to be their house.
Yes, they like to host and they're great at it. And like that makes sense then if you're saying that it's about conformity, and it's almost like upholding the structures of society.
Yes.
Bringing people together in a very traditional way, it sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why it's the Hierophant card. So let's talk about Taurus. We did this with the Aries episode, which was kind of fun. And Brittany, like, instead of being like pros and cons or like whatever about their personality, Taurus on a good day, Taurus on a bad
this
day.
one's fun, guys.
Yeah, this is fun. So Taurus on a good day, what would you say?
Ooh, I'd say like friendly, cooking.
So friendly.
Cooking something for you.
Yeah, dependable.
Yep.
Taurus, I feel like, are very mature. It doesn't matter what their age is. And they also have like an emotional maturity about them too.
For sure.
I would love to know how, because I feel a little like, as an air sign, sometimes immature in my emotions.
Raven.
They're not fully formed yet. Doesn't matter what I'm serious. But they are just emotionally strong people. They're very practical. And it almost sounds like a contradiction, right? Because they're so practical, but they love these luxuries. But here's the thing here's why it works.
Okay.
Taurus is work hard, play hard. So the reason why I can respect their indulgences is because they're working for them. It's truly like I earned this. I deserve it. I worked for this money. I've been working hard. So now let me treat myself.
Right.
And not so much
They're
just
not
like
frivolous. They're not vain.
Yes.
They're not over the top, which sometimes people will, I don't know, like paint them with that brush. But I agree with you. It's really more like they work hard, play hard. Like they have earned it in a way. So it's like they have to indulge and enjoy.
Yeah.
Or else how are they going to balance out their life?
Well, and that's why I like Taurus so much, because like who balances anymore? Like I feel like in today's society,
besides a Libra, right?
That's true. The scales.
It's just in them.
It's just literally their astrology, their biology. But no, I just feel like it either goes one way or another. For example, for me, I'm just like a worker. Yeah. I can barely unwind. Even on vacation, I'm still checking emails. Yes.
Okay, this is so, I am so confused. That's because you're an Aquarius, though. So
yeah.
Aquarians keep people guessing.
Yes, I can't even figure myself out, to be honest.
I did not think you were like that.
No, it's just hard for me to really like enjoy the good time.
Really?
I can. It just takes a while. Whereas I feel like Taurus, it just comes naturally. Like I did this and now I'm going to relax and enjoy. And that's the thing is like Taurus idea of relaxing and enjoying isn't necessarily like going out and partying and letting loose. It's really just those like, they find a lot of comfort at home or, well, mostly at home, but also in places that are familiar to them. So maybe like a parent's house or like a coffee shop that they always go to work at. These are not going to be your people who are like, oh yeah, I've never done that. Let me try it. You kind of have to push them out of their comfort zone a little bit.
They get very set in their ways. Like once they find something they like, it's like that old adage, like if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's like that. I think a Taurus probably came up with that because that really is how they operate.
True.
They find what they love, they cultivate that, and they put their energy towards it. And anything else, they just either don't have time for it or they're not interested. Yeah. And that's a really interesting and admirable quality. I mean, it's a very high quality of life, I think. Yeah. You know?
We were talking about it with like in relations to decision making, but truly like if this studio space was a Taurus or Taurians, or I don't know how you pronounce it, this would be so erratic and they would have a tough time because they're very unmoving even in the physical. So for example,
we move our furniture around?
Yes, because you can't see, but if you look at the behind the scenes, like Brittany has like a very
that shoot here.
Yes.
Well, 3 now. Oh my God. About to be 3 different sets. So we're always moving,
transforming.
People are coming in and out.
Whereas Taurus, it's like,
shooting.
this is a plant that I have and I love it and I love it here and now it's there and it's going to stay there.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it almost takes them, like if you were to go, like for example, I'll use my friend Haley as an example.
Sorry, Haley.
No, this is.
Or thank you, Haley.
Well, okay, first of all, I'm going to preface this by saying Taurus aesthetic.
Okay.
Go into their house.
Oh, glam.
It is glam, decorated fully.
I love it.
Well thought out, clean, presentable. It smells fucking amazing.
It does.
Again, this is the sign of all the senses, okay? It's gonna look good, it's gonna feel good, it's gonna smell good. I bet you if you lick the floor, it's gonna freaking taste good. Like, I'm serious.
Probably.
But I bet if I went over to Haley's house and I was like, you know, you should really like move that there and maybe like rearrange that, she'd be like, no.
Get the hell out of here.
Because guess what? She, as a Taurus, I'm gonna guess, spent much time contemplating, thinking.
There's a reason.
And that's why they are so stubborn, these bulls, because they have thought it over and over and over one more time.
They really believe in it, which is why it's not being stubborn for the sake of being stubborn or out of an ego sense, whereas some other signs are more ego driven.
Yes.
I do think, I agree with that. That's a really good distinction. It's more because like they have thought it through. It is rooted in depth.
Yes.
And that's why you can't move it. It's like a tree with deep roots. Like, you're not going to pull that sucker up.
Exactly.
Like, just let it grow. Just let it go, let it grow, and sit in the shade, okay? That's your Taurus friend.
But that's another thing about Taurus is like, that's how they view other people. So if other people decide something, they're really not going to question it.
That's nice.
Because they...
Who doesn't love a good friend with boundaries?
Exactly.
Like, that should be a t-shirt.
That's honestly, Taurus, the boundary sign. Like,
God bless them.
We respect boundaries. Truly, though, because it's like they almost view it as, oh, well, they must have thought really hard about it. And that, so they're not going to say anything. It's like, you do you, I'll do me. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, we can sort of coexist in this space. So Taurus had a bad day.
Ooh.
Obviously, we've said stubborn.
They're known to have a temper, especially if pushed.
Well, that's what I heard. I have yet to see a Taurus blow up, though.
They don't
I will say.
I mean, they do not just show it. I mean, it's like there's got to be a reason, a well thought out reason, and usually I think it probably comes out most in intimate relationships where there's like a locking of horns, so to speak.
Okay.
And like if you keep pushing a Taurus and they've already told you what they believe, they've shared their truth with you, and you continue to push, you're going to get the horns. Because they're the bull, right?
Yep, the bull.
You're going to get the horns of that bull. And to be honest, it's not like you weren't warned.
That's true.
Like you know who you're
bulls,
dealing with.
They like stomp the foot.
They will exactly, Raven.
Like it's coming.
They'll do a lot of
before they actually full speed ahead.
Yep. But if you're not respecting
waving
your
the flag, the red flag, then they're gonna fucking come after it.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Taurus. Well, you could say they're money motivated. That could be considered a con. It could kind of be like, well, like work for what? Like, what's in it for me? Kind of like, what's the monetary gain? Like, why work so hard toward this thing? It really,
they do have that work hard, play hard balance. Yeah, that makes sense. Like they really do need to see a benefit right away, or else they can't imagine putting the amount of energy that they would put into it because they don't think they're going to get a return.
Right.
Like they need to see, feel, taste, and touch the return before they commit.
So maybe in a career that could be like a lucrative offer up front. Yeah. Like I think a Taurus could be swayed more easily, but they're less likely to be like, oh, that's my dream job and it pays crap. It's more like, oh no, that's a very high paying job and it's not my favorite thing, but I can work hard at it and be good at it. So I'll do that one instead.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Because it's going to pay my bills and it's going to take care of me and, buy the things that I want to have.
Yeah. And they're like, and I can do my side thing, my hobbies, whatever.
Exactly.
Pursue my other stuff whenever I want.
Exactly.
Let me ask you a question, Raven. If you were trying to date a Taurus.
Okay. Which I'm not because I'm dating Carter and Aries.
Of course.
I need to preface this.
This is a hypothetical. Yeah. I'll give mine too. And I'm married. So come on.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys, we're just trying to be entertaining here. So if you were trying to date it, or actually let's be more accurate. If you guys were wanting to date a Taurus, here are some pointers.
Okay.
Do you have any pointers?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I would just keep to familiarity with a Taurus. They are going to be at their best when they're comfortable.
Yeah.
And I know like maybe if this is a first date, you're not gonna wanna bring up like, oh, let's have dinner at your house. But that would be a great date for Taurus. If it's like, hey, why don't we go to your house and we can cook dinner together? They're probably not gonna let you let you. They're going to be like, oh, you sit here. Or, for example, going to a restaurant they've been to so they can kind of take the lead.
Work the room, feel like, you know, they got their thing. Yep.
Where they're comfortable, again, is where they thrive. So just kind of feel them out and kind of be like, okay, well, what do you... Like, where have you been? What are your favorite restaurants? Go there. They'll tell you about the food, the apps you should order, the drinks. Like, they'll know it all. And you'll have a great time because then they won't be so thinking like, oh my God, I'm out of my comfort zone. Like, I wish I was at home. Or
they're
like,
going to be having fun.
They're going to be,
going to be thinking too much and not able to really enjoy.
Exactly.
Okay. And I have a deep dive take on that, of course. I mean, you guys know me by now. If you want to date a Taurus, because they value stability so much, you have to start working on your inner stability. So like they're not the person you want to come to with your issues right off the bat. Like you're going to want to really cultivate your inner stability. You're going to want to really like, you know, maybe put a little more perfume on or like think about Venus energy.
Yes.
And that's what they're going to be attracted to. Just got to say.
Smells.
So you're going to be pleasant.
Yes.
Yep. You don't want to like bring your chaos to them. You're going to want to work on that.
Do not bring the
yourself.
chaos.
You know, it's a different kind of dynamic that you want to establish with a Taurus person.
Which is different if you're friends because that's the thing. Taurus, they are so grounded and so just like rooted in logic and not in like a thinky way, but just like I'm here, like let's talk through it kind of way. That Taurus make great friends if you are going through a chaotic time.
Oh,
they'll
for
sit
sure.
there, they'll listen,
down.
they'll be like, deep breaths, let's get through this. But I would say, like you said, if you're trying to date someone, it's new, romantically, stay away from that. Because again, that's going to spark like their inner turmoil. It's like a red flag. Another one of those bull flags that they don't want to see.
They're very aware of red flags, I feel like. With a Taurus, you have to tread lightly in the beginning. Because again, like what we've already kind of talked about, how they are going to be evaluating things more so. It's just their nature. It's not bad. It's not good.
Yeah.
But their nature is to go more slowly, evaluate. They need comfort. They need to know that you're stable. They need to know you're committed before they're going to commit.
Yeah.
So you really have to kind of go in with a little bit of a guard up in a romantic sense. Because you don't want to show them all your cards at once. You want to just like get to know them really slowly. Like
very
this is
slow.
The quintessential person you want to get to know slow.
Slow and steady wins the race with Taurus for sure every single time. Like these people are in it for the long haul. Like as long as you can get past the beginning, if they're like, okay, yeah, this is a person I want to go the distance with or a job or whatever it is, they will stick with you through it, but don't scare them off. Because they can be a little flighty.
That's what I was trying to say. Don't scare them off. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because this is definitely a person you'd want to have in your life as a friend, as a partner, or whatever.
And patience might be required, but they're worth it.
Another, like you said, like, you know, flowers, like anything with beauty, like bring them some flowers.
Yeah, definitely.
Make sure you smell nice, like all that stuff.
Wear your best outfit.
Exactly.
You know.
And you'll find that when you are dating Taurus, they will treat you like the same little luxuries they give themselves. You are now going to be pampered as well.